In this video, we're starting off with transformations for grade 9 by having a look at translations. The word transformation means to change, and when looking at transformations in mathematics, we have a look at points and shapes on the system of axes and how they can be changed. The first type of transformation is called a translation, and translation means to move or shift. This shift or movement happens on the system of axes, and even though you can move a point in any direction, we are going to describe the movement in terms of a horizontal movement on the x-axis and a vertical movement on the y-axis. As example, here we have the coordinate 2, 4, and I'm going to move it in different directions. Firstly, I'm going to move the point 2 units to the right to get an x value of 4. And then also 3 units down to change the y value to 1. This new point is called the image of the original and has the coordinate 4, 1. To describe the transformation that happened from the point to the image, we are firstly going to say this was a translation, and more specifically, a movement of 2 units to the right and 3 units down. Each type of transformation has a general rule that can describe it. This rule can be applied to any coordinate, and that is why we don't describe it in terms of a specific coordinate, but in terms of what happens with x and y. In this specific translations case, we say that the point changes to the image by taking the x and adding 2, and for the y we subtract 3. And this will be the general rule for this translation. Example 1. Describe the following transformation, and here we are given point A and A prime. Firstly, we need to say that this transformation is a translation. The x value moves from -3 to -5, and that is 2 units to the left, and the y value changes from 7 to 3, which means you have to move 4 units down. Example 2. In the sketch is triangle ABC. First question, sketch A, B, and C prime, the image of triangle ABC. If triangle ABC is translated 2 units to the right and 4 units up. So here we are not asked to give the new coordinates, but to draw the new sketch on the system of axes. I'm going to start taking point A, which is at -3, 3, and moving it 2 units to the right to get to -1, and then 4 units up. So A prime will be at -1, 7. Similarly, I'm going to take point B and move it 2 units to the right and 4 units up, so B prime is at -2, 2. And finally, I'll take point C and move it 2 units to the right and 4 units up, so C prime is at 0, 2. And now I can draw the new triangle, and this will be the image of the original triangle. Question B. Triangle DEF has coordinates D, which is 3, 4, E, 2, -1, and F, 4, -1. Determine the translation from triangle ABC to triangle DEF. Now you can choose to either first draw triangle DEF or simply focus on the coordinates. Our starting coordinate A is -3, 3, and this translates to form D at 3, 4. The x changes from -3 to 3, and that is 6 units to the right. The y value changes from 3 to 4, and that is 1 unit up. Or as I mentioned, you could also first draw the triangle. Point D is at 3, 4, point E at 2, -1, and point F at 4, -1. Now it might be a bit easier to see that A moved 6 units to the right and 1 unit up to get to point D. And the same is true for point B and C. In the sketch, we can see that all three triangles have the same shape and size, and therefore they are congruent. So a translation does not change the shape or size of the original figure. Example 3. Point E minus 2, 0 is given. Translate the point using the rule x plus 3, y minus 1 and give the coordinates of E prime. So here, instead of giving the translation in words, it is described in the general rule. Firstly, we are told to take the x and add 3, so our point of minus 2 should be moved 3 to the right, and that means that E prime will have an x value of 1. For the y value, we need to subtract 1 or move 1 down from 0, so the y coordinate will be minus 1. Question B. Point F, 8 minus 3 is given. Translate point F using the rule x minus 5, y minus 2, and give the coordinates of f prime. Again, all we need to do is implement the rule. So, for the x coordinate, we're starting at 8 and subtracting 5, so f prime will be at 3. And for the y coordinate, from minus 3, we need to move 2 more down or negative, and that will give us minus 5. So if you understand what a rule implies, you can immediately apply it to a coordinate.